I worked at Dow Tile in Dallas, Texas as the environmental health and safety and mining liaison for the plants. Now, I knew very little about these topics, but I knew I could help, and I realized that I needed to get to know my customers, so I visited each plant many times to make sure I understand their specific needs. Now, many of our plants were located in Texas, including one in Coleman. Now, to get to Coleman, Texas, you essentially drive into the middle of nowhere to the west, take a left, and then drive 90 more miles south. Now, as I was driving there, as I got off the highway, I found myself driving into the middle of I worked at Dow Tile in Dallas, Texas, as the environmental health, safety, and mining liaison for our many plants. Now, didn't know a huge amount about these topics, but I knew I could help the plants if I could just make life simpler for them. So, in order to get to know my customers, I visited each plant many times. Now, some of our plants were located in Texas, including one in Coleman. Now, to get to Coleman, Texas, you drive into the middle of the nowhere essentially, hang a left, and drive 90 more miles south. Now, what I found was just as I got off this highway in the middle of nowhere, I was in a town and the road was paved with gravel. And I was kind of wondering, how good could this be? So I drove up to what looked like a tin shack, and this was the factory. I was wondering, how in the world could they make quality tile in there? The equipment had to be run down, it had to be dark, and the people would have to look like zombies. But man, was I wrong. When I got inside, it was brightly lit, the people were engaged, and the equipment was running just like a top. Now, all the equipment in the plant looked brand new, except for this enormous clay mixer. It was installed in 1896. I'm not making this up. Now, I had never seen equipment that old. I have seen equipment that was new, that looked like it was installed in the 1800s because it was poorly taken care of. So I had to ask my sponsor, why is every other piece of equipment brand new and this mixer over 100 years old? And he told me that it had been in continuous operation for 100 years. It had never broken down, required very, very little maintenance, and was very simple to operate. Newer equipment, newer mixers anyway, were a lot more prone to breakdowns. Well, this made sense. Instead of chasing bright and shiny objects, we should nurture the things that treat us well and do good work. And in this case, and in many cases, you will be rewarded for many years to come. I hope you enjoyed this story, gained some insight, and learned something you can use. You'll find many more Kaizen stories on my website, www.pi-partners.com. If you'd like help growing your profits through sustained process improvement, scan the QR code on the screen for a free consultation, and let's start our journey together.